Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. It is a Saturday morning, bright and sunny. And early this morning, I headed off out into the world. I went to Fred Meyer's to pick up some rechargeable batteries. They don't have rechargeable batteries. They have a battery station with, it's an end cap, and it's got a big bunch of batteries on all three sides of it, and nothing rechargeable. Over at Walmart, they moved their battery station into the local alcohol section. So if the alcohol section is closed and you need batteries, they gotta walk over there, unlock it, open it up, and get in. But they've been out of all rechargeables. Duracell, Rayovac, Energizer, nothing. So I've got a bunch of rechargeables, but I need a couple more because everything in the world needs batteries. I mean, these need batteries, these lights here. I got a clock that needs batteries. My Xbox controller needs batteries. I got one spare battery anymore. So when one of these goes out, I've only got one battery to replace it. And on these two battery things, that means I gotta guess which battery needs to be replaced. Or on the three battery things, I can only replace one. So I need to get some, which means I gotta use Amazon or something. Yay! Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I have had a time and a life. Hasn't been too bad. That hasn't gone off again. I mean, it takes a while between going off, but hopefully it's done doing that. But we're heading into summer and pollen season, and everybody that I've talked to that has had those things go off has just been told, yeah, they're sensitive. Great. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, yeah, so I have been just existing. I have been going out and walking and trying to sleep as best I can, watching videos and doing my very best. I have been trying to be productive and creative. It is more difficult with severe ADHD that so far I can't do anything to control with medications without blasting my blood pressure sky high. So I'm trying to remember things. One of the things I want to do is do a quick reminder for everyone who's watching about one of my favorite horrific things in my setting, because the whole setting with the inside, the outside, the razor's edge is within the context of my multiverse setting, with universes being constantly spawned and splitting off from others. Sometimes a configuration doesn't work out properly, and the universe will just die on the vine. Now, universes exist within a space called an and surrounding a universe within the multiverse is the Ungabe. The Ungabe is like the soap bubbles in a bubble bath. The is the space within the bubble. The Ungabe is the soap film itself, and a universe forms within the the space. And so, sometimes these universes that are dying on the vine will get glomped together into another universe and it becomes kind of a conjoined universe. It is kept alive by energy coming from the one it is hooked to, but not enough for it to become a full, complete, and activated universe. Now, with the coming of the cosmic horrors and the splitting of the multiverse into the place where the cosmic horrors are, all sorts of strange radiations and energies are released by the beings themselves, by their interactions with the universe. There are 3 zones of the universe, and all of these places get leaky and energies are flowing. Regular configurations of the universe that would just inflate, they aren't. Energy flows into them and they come out wildly different because of those energies. And because of this, I figure the amount of energy within this sort of multiverse is usually about a thimbleful. And a big place might have a bucket. But this universe and its conjoined setting, about 10 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of this creative energy flowed into the conjoined universe. So even though it's not a full, complete universe, it has an exceptional amount of energy, and energy flows from that conjoined part into our universe, and then it keeps our universe rejuvenated and renewed, and then energy flows backward into the other universe, so there's a flow, and it's lasting far, far longer than any setup of any universe will. When you're in a multiverse, generally looking at a universe, you can count birth of the universe 2, 3, growth, 5, maturation, 6, 7, withering, death. And then it's gone that fast. This one is like in the 14 millionth tick, and it's only 1/10 of 1% on this tiny section of its life. Our star within that system is one of these rejuvenating stars. Every 15 billion years, enough, and as our star goes into its red giant phase and then shrinks into a white dwarf, its capacity as a resistor falls, and then all the stored energy within it bursts outward. It rejuvenates the flow of energy, destroys everything that was there, lays a new accretion disk, and it all starts over again. 15 billion year cycle. On the razor's edge. Now, a razor's edge is just where these two universes bump up against each other and holes get rubbed between them. Now, this is an analogy and an abstraction, but what will happen between some of these holes is a razor's edge forms between them, a transition point for this energy to flow through into the other universe that down converts in the razor's edge and then comes out into the other universe. These form because these universes bump and rub up against each other, there's a sort of static energy that forms and fills the rest of the Ong around these two universes. This is the energy from within slowly leaking outward. So there is an end, because in the universe it's just an unbelievably long amount of time from now. But it is from this static energy that razor's edges are formed. There will be a snap, where like a sphere will form around a burst of this energy, and then it burns to ash. And then from this ash, a new universe, the razor's edge of that area, forms. This razor's edge that I have in Brookerton, South Carolina, is one of the largest on this world, but especially in the continental United States. And if you enter South Carolina, it is massive and daunting. Now, trying to remember where I was going with this. Yes, the razor's edge itself. Now, within this, early on, oh boy, I'm having like cardiac issues. I think I'm going to have to go to the hospital after this. I'm having actual cardiac pains. So I may be recording, editing, and rendering this later, because this ain't good. If I have one more, I'm going to stop editing and head on down to the hospital. That's not good. But then I don't breathe as much and as well as I should while I'm talking, so who knows? Well, that's joyous. But when this razor's edge formed, something happened that hadn't happened before and has never happened since and will never happen again. But there was a being caught when this snapped. With the Brookerton Gate and this razor's edge being formed, there was a being of incredible power that when this razor's edge burned to ash, this being survived. And through the formation of the razor's edge, it was smashed down, crushed, and beaten down into a new form. Reality tried hard to destroy this being from this previous place. It survived. It's still there now on the Apple Rock Razor's Edge. Just you travel through that gate in Brookerton, you're on the Apple Rock layer of this Razor's Edge, and 1,500 kilometers from Brookerton, South Carolina, when you pass into there, is the Kaiju in Apple Rock, and this is the being. It has been 1 trillion years since the formation of this Razor's Edge. It's still alive. It will be alive until the end of this universe because its hate sustains it. Everything it knew and loved and dreamed of was burned to ash and formed into this new universe. It was almost destroyed and crushed into this new form. It went from being an almost literal god to being crushed and smashed into what form it is now. It is a chained and fallen, dark and malevolent god of death and destruction. It can sustain, it can manipulate, but it cannot create. But it hates humanity with a deep burning passion. The only thing that sustains it is its hate. Because everything it knew and loved burned to ash and now was given to these things. And we are these things. And its horror, it needs to keep us around and can't just destroy us, because eating us is the only thing that keeps it alive. Everyone in Apple Rock thinks it's just the kaiju, and every 5-6 years it comes down, rampages, eats a couple thousand people, and goes back up onto this mountain and just rests till the next rampage. Nobody knows it's over 1 trillion years old. It has slept, hibernated through 1/3 of that time, but it has been conscious, awake, and malevolent for 2/3 of 1 trillion years, and it hates. Now, yeah, it has to eat. It has to pack its entire digestive system from beginning to end with human meat before it can go into hibernation. It gets fat, just morbidly, obesely fat from all the people it's been eating. It is stuffed with so much human meat that its stomach sphincter up its throat. And even then, when it comes out of its torpor, it's cannibalizing its own muscles to survive, because it sleeps for over 1 billion years. And it's a struggle to do it every single time, but it is not gonna let go. It is a dark and malevolent god of death and destruction. Luckily, chained and fallen. And nobody knows. Nobody can know. Nobody will know. How could they? And of course, it manipulates people incredibly. The entire town, well, city of Apple Rock, people don't leave this place because the kaiju itself has what these points of interest where it can put a point of attention and just influence from that. It has tens of thousands of these points of interest because its mind is that big. Everything within a razor's edge like this is in a superposition, where for every square meter there's 1,000,000 square meters of there. No, 1,000,000 square kilometers of there. It's so much, the gray superposition, and when you walk into an area, it falls out of the superposition. It could be anything combined with where you're coming from. But to the kaiju's eyes, this superposition is one flat map. It sees it all perfectly. It hates. But it has to eat. And as much as people see it up on the hill there, it does quite frequently end up on layers on the razor's edge where there's like 800 billion people. And it will eat every single one of them. It starts off with them, oh, we'll defeat this. And then when it's down to 400 billion people, you start to get the despair. And when you're down to under 1 billion people, this thing just grabs 10 to 14 people, wedge all those people into its mouth, chew, swallow. And it can just go grab, wad, chew, swallow, wad, chew, swallow, wad, chew, swallow. And it does that constantly. you can't escape it, because it can step along glamours without actually having to move anywhere. Just blink, eat, blink, eat, blink, eat. Eventually, it eats everyone. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And of course, it's only 1,500 miles, well, kilometers, from Burketon, South Carolina. A dark and malevolent god of death and destruction. Thumbs up. Which means it's also 1,500 kilometers from the Crimson Kingdom with the King in Crimson. One of the other reasons that the whole Burketon, South Carolina gate is so important, because the King in Crimson, of course, is making advances out into our universe, not in a colonialist, imperialist way, but to help those people out here that have that genome that can use glamour. So they have things like the Red Line Communications, part of the King in Crimson, well, the Crimson Kingdom industrial family, where they provide cloud storage and mobile phone service and internet service for a very small niche market, which is the only reason they can survive amongst the telemobile giants, only selling to actually people that have that genome activated, so that they can use their phone, cross 2 universes, and talk to friends who live in the Crimson Kingdom. How about that? So thumbs up, and it's all because of the cosmic horrors with dread Amigerazu. At the very bottom of the power levels, there are us, the Gokura, the Endless, the Numberless, also translated as prey. Then there is, when you step up and can travel between universes, you become Gakire, small predator. If you can keep becoming more powerful and become Gakiri, you become Predator. And if you can become Gakiru, you are Armored Predator. There's only one Gakira, most powerful, and that is Dread Amigerazu. It's supposed to be a category, but she is so powerful, she has warped reality itself, that the category has become a title and a crown that she wears proudly. And then, of course, she is the Gakira, her children, all 12 of them that she came to our multiverse to live birth, the Ong Gakira, and then they send down the Ong into an individual universe so that it can lay its eggs and birth the Ong Goka, and then they go and contact various alien races who, when they become allied, become the Goka, and they will prey upon anyone who's just Gokura. Thumbs up. Anyway, though, I'm going to continue doing walks here and there. I got a full day. It's only 11 o'clock a.m. As stated, if my heart does one more even semi-painful thing, I'm off to the hospital. I'm going to go to the ER because this did a couple things that were not fun while I was recording this. So, yay. But I'm going to do that. I'm going to try recording various things. I still got to edit my Colorado space reading. I still got all that. I got some other things I want to get done. So hopefully I will. Hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be very cool. But if not, don't beat yourself up. It does not help you do things next time. It only just causes you pain. So try not to. For all my Patreon patrons, thumbs up, thank you so much. It is appreciated greatly, greatly, greatly much. Which doesn't make sense, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. And of course, I can't put your names up here yet. You are beautiful and awesome people. And when you look into the mirror, you see someone who is beautiful and awesome, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. For everybody that leaves me a comment, thumbs up and thank you. I answer as many as I can, but it is hard with this. I can wave my arm around like I just don't care, and it's sparkling up here, but it's not terrible. But when I hold my hands off to type, that ain't good. I do it as best I can, but... So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. And of course, yeah, cardiac pain, not good. of course, I mean, is it really? So if it does it again, I'm out. So you take care, and I'll talk to you later. Yeah.